What's the fitness news on George North, please?
Yeah, I think we're looking very healthy at the moment, all around really. Definitely healthier than we was the England week. So we're definitely going to be selecting from strength when it comes to selection time.
Has George been able to take much part in training so far?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he trained today.
So he's fully raring to go.
Correct.
What are you looking to him to bring back into the team then, if selected? That sort of qualities.
Well, first and foremost, obviously, as defensive coach, I want him to concentrate on his defensive duties. I think his defence has definitely improved over the last 12 months. It was always George's work on. You know, we come into this game as a young player. Let's be honest, you don't select someone because of the defence. Generally, it's the attack you select them by, and then it's sort of over to the defensive coach to help them to improve with the defence. And you know, George has worked very hard at it. He's studied very hard, and I think the last 12 months it's finally clicking with him, and he's reaping the reward. So defensively, I hope he holds his side strong if he's selected. And then obviously when he gets the ball, we would just want that X factor about him that he showed in the first test over in against New Zealand.
Back row selection could take you as a management team a little while, given that Taulupe Faletau is available and given that the other three went pretty well against England.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's a great position to be in. You know, give us that over you know, not picking from weakness instead of strength. I'd take that any day of the week. So yeah, I think our back row played pretty well last time, so we'll see.
How was Taulupe for Bath at the weekend?
I'm told it was a pretty scrappy game. Obviously the weather conditions weren't fantastic, but he got 70, 80 minutes in, and you know, he's looked definitely sharper in training this week.
Is it a game that you expect a different sort of challenge in that back row area from Scotland than you've got from England in terms of the styles that you'll face?
That's a very good question. I think both teams are probably very competitive at breakdown. We practice, you know, turning the ball over. You know, we practice our ruck skills, defensive ruck skills every day. And you know, I know Richie's the contacts coach up there, and I've got a lot of respect for Richie, and it's pretty obvious they do the same. They definitely compete heavily on the ball, and it'll be a battle royal at the breakdown. You know, within the laws of the game, obviously.
Is the Scotland squad significantly better than some that Wales have faced in past years, given that Wales have a 9-10 year winning record against Scotland? Well,
I think any team who's, let's be honest, within a hair's breadth, and that's a politely put it, of being in the semi-final of the World Cup, you know, you have to respect them, that standard of play, and yeah, they've obviously gathered momentum over the last you know, number of seasons. I think World Cup is always the biggest, how can I say, test of you as a team, because it's the biggest competition in the world, and it's a time when, as a coaching staff, you have your players for an elongated period. So, you know, we're very, very aware of the threat from Scotland.
Any key individuals that you need to stop?
I mean, obviously Stuart Hogg is talk of the town at the moment. Six Nations is one of the most exciting players around. You know, Finn Russell. You know, you always look at the opposite 9 and 10 as threats, but you know, everyone knows games are won and lost up front, and that advantage line battle will be pivotal in who, you know, wins the game in the end.
Lovely weather around in Wales this week. Are you expecting similar conditions in the north at the weekend?
Well, I mean, potentially, you know, obviously with the Six Nations played in February, March, and you know, we've been pretty fortunate really. I think it was 2013 since we last played a wet game. So you know, it was a little bit wet it was obviously wet in Italy, which was very recently, but before that it was 2013 since we played a wet game, because you know, obviously we sometimes we play with the roof, etc. But if it's wet and we have to adjust our tactics.
Shaun, you said a couple of weeks ago that you were talking about your defence generally coming into this championship, and you felt after last year it was getting back to what you were used to from the Welsh defence. That's what you said. Have you felt that in the first 2 games?
I've been very happy with our form with the last 3 games, to be honest. You know, South Africa conceded 1 try. You know, we go to Italy and conceded from a maul, and then, you know, in the last two Six Nations Championship games against England, we've only conceded 3 tries, which, you know, England have been scoring tries for fun against most teams. So, yeah, obviously it would have been better conceding 1 try last time, but yeah, after the Australia game, I basically changed a lot of the running lines of the backs. I felt we needed to be stronger in the middle, and to do that, sometimes you have to adjust elsewhere. And I totally changed the running lines of the backs after the Australia game, and I think it's worked, to be honest. And but obviously the test, another big test coming up on Saturday, and we've conceded the least points in the competition so far. So, you know, so far so good on that one. But you know, we know we've got huge challenges ahead with fantastic attacking teams, and Scotland being the next one.
When you say change the running lines, are you meaning defenders like narrow in midfield?
I'm not telling you.
How have you reviewed that last England try? What was your feeling about the defensive pattern?
In the last bit, well, what happened was we went up, we broke off structure, because it was, you know, from any turnover, unstructured turnover, where all the backs actually turn the ball over, you know, we're supposed to go 2 rucks to get our backs back up on the feet to fill the pitch. But, you know, with kick chasers, obviously, we didn't do that. We passed it back to the kicker after 1 ruck, which was a mistake. It should have been 2 rucks, and I don't think even Jonathan expected the ball, because he expected a 2 ruck exit play. That's probably one of the reasons why his kick wasn't as accurate as he normally does. But everyone makes mistakes. You know, if one of us makes a mistake, we all make a mistake together. You know, I always say to the players, you know, if they miss a tackle, I miss a tackle. So it's not a matter of us and them; it's a matter of we.
Given Hogg's effectiveness, running the ball back, the lessons you draw from that, or any changes, or you just think, well, that was a mistake?
No, it was because our kick chase wasn't set up, because we expected it to go another ruck after the turnover. So, you know, we didn't have our kick chase in position. So that was the issue. We've worked very hard on our kick chase over the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 games, and hopefully it'll be at its best at weekend, as it have to be against such an explosive back 3. You know, they are very, very important.
And the question she looked at, Shaun, is just on the squad with Keelan Giles back at the weekend. Are there any plans to bring him in the next couple of weeks?
Well, obviously we'll have a look and see how his hamstrings coming on, but I'm pretty sure, you know, if he gets some good form underneath him, because having had hamstrings tears myself as a player, it does take you a little bit of time to get that sharpness back after an hamstring tear. It's not like, I don't know, you have a dead leg or something like that. It's very different, you know, and to have that confidence back after an hamstring tear, it probably takes your game, definitely took 2 or 3 games to get it back. I'm sure if he performs well, you know, over the next few, you know, game or so, Rob will be looking at it.
Sure. I don't know, Wales with a fixture against Georgia for the first time in November.
Haven't confirmed that yet.
If that is confirmed, Georgia have obviously won the Tier 2 for 5 or 6 years in a row. Do you think they have got some sort of argument to be in with a chance of taking part in something with the Six Nations, whether it be a playoff or whatever? Any thoughts about that?
No, I have no thoughts about that. I'm a coach, not an administrator. I'll leave that to the powers that be. When we do play Georgia, I hope we don't let them score many tries. That's my job.
Thank you very much.